What's going on, everybody? It's John, the Landscape Giant, and today I'm going to show you how you can turn this field into a lawn, or at least start that process with a small machine and a brush hog. You're gone. Alright, so we got the brush hog and the machine unloaded. This is the pasture that we're going to be clearing today. It's just under an acre. Should take about 2 to maybe 3 hours. And we're going to show you how to do this the most efficient way possible. First thing you want to do when you get to a new property, or maybe this is your own property, before you start brush hogging, mark out your property line. That's the most important part, because you don't want to cut something that's not yours, because there's no putting it back. So that's your first step you want to do. Your second step you want to do is maybe walk some of the property and walk through and make sure there's no large divots or material that might be laying in there, and do your best to clear and mark some of those obstructions prior to just going into the field and mowing. I like to use a mini skid to brush hog because your visibility off your sides is excellent, and there's no tail for you to back into anything. We're going to start brush hogging by creating a perimeter line and an area for us to turn around in, so we're not trespassing onto someone else's property. So let's go ahead, fire up the machine, and start cutting our way in. Fire it up. Same thing like we did in the grading project. We gotta wait for it to say, wait, the throttle is gone. Put our earmuffs down. Rev it up. Lift your brush hog up off the ground. And we're gonna engage it. Let it spool up. Let's throttle up. We're at full throttle. Begin our first pass down the property line. Now, I've got the brush hog ever so slightly up off the ground, probably about 2.5 to 3 inches. So on this first pass, if we hit anything, it's not going to be the end of the world. Oh, look at that. Effortlessly. Just making minor adjustments on the joystick. Got our first thorn trying to get us. Let's back up and knock this thorn bush down real quick. You're gone. Look at that. This is first pass, already looking pretty good. Try to overlap by a couple inches up here on the side. It's probably hard to hear me, but we'll do our best to explain everything as we're going. Also, if you're doing a job like this, do yourself a favor, start your stopwatch so you know how to bill. And we're going about a third speed forward. So that's our first pass down. Just engage your brush hog. So that's our first pass down, and now we're going to cut through here and go along and kind of use this as our guide that the homeowner has already set for us. When it bogs down, you mean just got to back off a little bit and let the power head catch up. You don't overwhelm it, put too much heat into the hydraulics. I'm going to lift the head up just a little bit. For doing projects like this, because a full-size cab machine, as great as they are, you're limited where you can the size of the machine, and the impact you make on the ground is pretty substantial, where a stand-on unit with low ground pressure is extremely effective at not beating up the terrain so much. And you can squeeze under these obstacles and obstruction with ease. Where you're backing up. There, that's pretty good. Now let's go up the hill. Again, we're at just over maybe 50% forward on the joystick. Probably like 55% forward, 55% back. If you run this all the way, you will go too fast, and you will not process the material as nicely. Look at that. Bang. We can pulverize that down a couple times. And then we'll come in and clean this area up after, once we get our trail kind of cut. We can come back and process the stuff underneath these trees and shrubs that we're going to keep. Not to make too many zero turns. You'll really beat the turf up. So right on the edge of the grass, we even want to lift the head up a little bit so we don't destroy the lawn. We'll just kind of go back and forth. We're going to clean that little area up too. Homeowner is really cool also. I think he watches the channel, so shout out to you. We're just going to be real gentle, kind of cutting this stuff back. We got our trail cut in, so now we can kind of squeeze in here a little bit. About running a brush hog is the finished product is kind of rough, as you can see. It's just kind of shearing it off and tossing it around into these little clumps on these thicker grasses, where I'm considering moving to a flail mower as another option to give clients like this. It would produce a much nicer finish, but boy, are those power heads expensive. And the flail mower, from what I've seen online, it has a little bit more difficulty knocking down larger material. It just takes longer. And time is money, and most people, honestly, I would say 75 to 80% of clients, they just want to cut down, and they'll worry about the finished product themselves, and they'll either try to run it over with their riding tractor or riding mower, or they just want you to mulch everything. But for those 25% of clients that really want that mulch finished look, a flail mower is definitely the way to go. So we got a stick there, we just caught that. Let's go along this front line. We're going to tilt the front of the head up just a little bit for some of this bigger material so it doesn't come back at us. We're going to go a little bit slower through here if you want to get a really good cut. And we're also trying to figure the contour of the land out as we go up and down these small little knolls. That's a good looking cut. Let's get this second pass in and then we'll talk about some technique. For the second pass, I like to overlap a little bit more, maybe 50-50. Try to process this material a little more efficiently. Take a break real quick. So we're 8 minutes in on our first lap, and it's probably going to go down from there. So you got to your first, we'll call it bush or larger obstruction in this field. And it is tempting to just want to drive into this flat and try to push it over. But we're going to do a little more of an advanced technique where we're actually going to come down on the object at a slight angle and process the material down. And the reason you want to do that is so that the machine can process the material more efficiently and you don't just bog the machine down, because again, this is a small machine. We're at 40 horsepower. We got about 16 gallons per minute of flow. So yeah, that's a lot for a mini skid, but it's not a lot in the world of heavy machinery. So we're gonna come in, you're gonna see me lift up at a slight angle, maybe a 30-degree angle, so that the blades and everything is directed away from us and any projectiles will go forward. And we're just gonna very gently come down on top of this, process it real slow, and we'll get all the way to the bottom, and then we'll probably back over it once or twice to get it processed down really nicely. So let's get after it. The obstruction. Want to make sure we're recording. Otherwise, it's all be for nothing. Tilt this thing back to about 30 degrees right there. Very gently, we're going to come down on top of it. Got everything bent over. Then we'll tilt it down, we'll back drag it. You can hear it bogging a little bit as we get down almost to dirt. Oh, that's a stump right there, you can hear it. So let's take it, let's just kind of drop it down, flush it out. Look at that. We're down, I mean, pretty flush where I feel confident that a homeowner can go over this with his riding mower and not damage it too much. Let's get down to the end here. And again, we're just going slow. To rush through this and damage anything, beat on the equipment unnecessarily. It'll make everything you own last a lot longer if you're nicer to it. There's times where you got to kind of be that bull in the china shop, but this isn't one of them. See, with our overlap, we're getting some of these stragglers that we left behind. And we're constantly making minor manipulations. We're not tilting up and down, we're just raising the deck up and down ever so slightly to contour the ground so we don't hit dirt, because that's going to dull your blades out. Or knives or hammers or whatever you might be using for your particular power attachment you might have on. We're at 183 degrees on our coolant, 2600 RPM. We're flowing really, really nice. We can check our hydraulic temps here in a little bit. Okay, so we did our cut in. We've got 2 passes around the property, and now we have the machine facing away from the homes that are behind us towards an empty field down below. And you might be asking, why does it matter which way the machine's facing? Well, if you want to prevent overthrow, which is kind of what's happening here on the edge, as you can see the material kind of going over into the neighbor's property, you want the projection of the material coming out to be in an area where it's not going to build up or cause a nuisance or not look kind of unsightly for your neighbors and your clients. So we're going to have all the material going forward, and now we're just going to go down and back, and now let us overlap and really cut everything in really, really nice. So we'll set you up, we'll get a little time lapse going, and we'll process this field out. We are 1 hour, 15 minutes, 30 seconds in, and we have finished the first stage. While we let the machine kind of idle down, cool off a little bit. But this is double cut, so 1 forward, 1 back, all the way up. Now we're going to touch up this property line going all the way down to that fallen tree, and then we're going to sneak in under some of these shrubs. property is all completed. And I mean, we did underneath all these trees, all the way down, from one ribbon, all the way to the next. But I'm happy this happened. So brush hogging, there's sometimes fires, and you need to be aware of that. And the number one cause is usually this right here. Look at all of this debris that has built up. So we got our leaf blower out. We're gonna take this panel off. It's pretty easy on your Vermeer. You just fold this up, grab right here. Hold on, go figure, I need two hands. There we go, and you slide this right out. And I mean, look, it's caked, absolutely caked. And our operating temps, we're down to 197, but we're running close to 213. So let's get the leaf blower going and let's clean it off. Get under the hood. Clean everything out real good. There you go. What a difference. I'm just going to pop this panel back in. Oop, missed it. There we go. Fold my keys up. Oh, I missed it. It's the hardest part of getting this damn panel back in. There we go. Fold your keys up. Oh, still didn't get it. I had it too high, my bad. Oh, we're learning. There we go. Close the hood. They probably recommend you shutting the machine off before you blow it, but When it's hot like that, I think you're better off running it and cleaning the air filter versus shutting it off and having all that hot fluid just sitting there. Idle it up a little bit. We'll let it run for a second. Let's go put it back on the truck and trailer and give you the final walk around. Let's get up to 1900 RPM. I usually don't shut the machine off until I have it back loaded up. It just, as few starts and on-offs as possible when it's hot like this. Unless you have to shut it off for an emergency. I try to just let it run. I'll park it here in the shade. It'll be better off for it. Idle it down a little bit. Put this away. That was a lot of fun. It's a good project. Got that, okay. We'll be right back for you. We'll put you right there. Let's pull this old sun gun forward. It's a little tight in here. There we go. Oh. Let's get our ramps out. Get our chains and binders. That's why we took that leaf blower with us this morning. Got to take those little things. They might seem silly, but keep you from having a fire. There we go, we're lined up. To go literally all the way back. I need a bigger trailer. I need another trailer. I don't know so much need a bigger trailer. You got one, you want two. You got two, you want four. It's just how it is. All right, we are all finished. Got my sweet Vermeer hat on. I love that hat. But let's take a quick look and kind of just analyze and go over what we just did. We're at 2 hours, 32 minutes for total time of the brush hog running. You include unloading and loading time. We're just at about 3 hours. So it's a pretty good rate. I charge $150 an hour for this service, plus my drive time, you know, unloading, offloading, not just the machine running, but we're at the top corner. This looks fantastic. So good. Well, the customer had to leave, so they're not home, but usually I like to talk to them before I leave. I'll try to maybe throw them a few photos or FaceTime them real quick before I'm 100% out of here, just because I hate callbacks. I hate callbacks. But we got everything. We process this material very efficiently. I'll show you what the actual grass looks like. And like I told them, it's like probably 6-7 inches long. You know, it's kind of long and dangly, but this is manageable now for a ride-on tractor with a set of mulching blades or a zero turn. There's no reason someone couldn't keep this mowed down, which I believe is their intention. But yeah, this finished product, super happy with it. We got one more job to do today, and then we'll be all done. We'll be at the baseball game by 7. We're out of here. Just don't hit the house. Don't hit it. Hope you had fun today, and like and subscribe and follow along for more videos much like this. And best of luck with your project and we'll see you out there.